Yeah, hello. Yeah, so am I clear? Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yes. So the video in question, I thought basically there was a longer version of it, but I've had it. Um, the question was directly posed to him. Basically, the whole idea was let us find something, uh, you know, about him. The very first person to link Peter Obi with IPOP is the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai. That was the very first person. And I think your comparison with the fact that he is not the first Igbo person uh, to contest for the presidency is true. That Rochas ran and nobody was talking about Biafra and all of those things. The difference in that scenario is that from the contest, Rochas, I think, contested from PDP, went to ANPP, and all of that in his for presidency before he became governor. The momentum that Peter Obi is gathering, the message he carries, is very, very different. The move is quite different from what you have had in Rochas' time. Now, that being said, I want to take us back. I made a statement. I said the case of ESN and IPOP is such that any attempt to x-ray it objectively automatically terms you either a pro this, a pro that, a pro terrorist, and all of those things. Now, as far as we know internationally, how, because the first thing is that I think we are arguing on the wrong platform. First and most importantly, let us ask ourselves, when has any secessionist moved qualified the classification of the secessionist as a terrorist organization? I think people have asked that question time and again, time and time again. A typical example is this. If you pick that narrative of Peter Obi, what is his opinion about IPOP or ESN, you can simply move down to the southwest and call Tinubu and ask him what his position is about Amotekun. You can easily come back to the north and ask, especially now when Tinubu answers the question on Amotekun, you can go to Shetima and ask him, being the first politician to begin to champion the cause of amnesty for Boko Haram, you could ask him to justify what that meant. And
Okay,
secondly, you could go
Zari,
further.
before you go,
Sorry.
just wait, just
I'm
wait.
not going
You made
anywhere.
a
I haven't even
statement.
made my
Okay,
point. I haven't
okay,
made my
okay.
point. And secondly, one of the pro-ethnic groups in Nigeria, just the way you have the Yoruba groups, or you have any Igbo group or whatsoever, regardless of their political affiliation, there is Miyetti Allah. Now, Miyetti Allah has taken responsibility for a number of massacres in the Middle Belt. There have been too many calls from Middle Belt people, from Southeastern, from different parts of the country, proscribe this group. Proscribe this group. There have been killings, slaughters, use of guns, and all of that. But they are not proscribed. I don't know if you get my point. So people have asked, how are you in a hurry to proscribe a secessionist group and not a particular group that has taken responsibility for quite a number of killings? I think it is in these late years that Miete Allah stopped saying we killed them because 3 of our cows are missing, 30 people die is because 10 cows were missing, and all of those things. Now, from the very inception, when Peter Obi left the PDP, came to Labour Party, clinched the ticket, I told you the first person to link him with IPOP was Nasir El-Rufai. And the linking of him to IPOP has so many things, because you could sit down, whether legally or whether by local laws or by international laws, to begin to look at it. Are they actually a terrorist group in the state? Or is it a proscription of them as a terrorist group to ensure that any politician from that extraction will appear will appear sympathetic to IPOP, and already they have been proscribed as a terrorist group? And I think you were saying something. There is a large political play in the whole, saga of it, even with the release of Nnamdi Kanu, because somebody analyzed it and say if Nnamdi Kanu goes and sits quietly, it will be concluded that now that his brother is running for presidency, it is all that they have been doing. The terrorists have found a representative. If Nnamdi Kanu comes out and speaks out, it will be a crime. If Nnamdi Kanu decides to repent and say there is no longer agitation for Biafra or whatsoever, it will still be an issue. So if I will summarize, I think the crime of Peter Obi, I will say this without any fear, I'm not an Igbo man. The crime of Peter Obi is, first, he is an Igbo man. Secondly, he's a Christian. Don't pretend that you don't understand how politics is played, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. I will say it again. The vice presidential candidate of the APC is the first man that championed the cause of granting amnesty for a defined terrorist organization. They have called themselves what they are. They have called for the suspension of the Nigerian constitution in their area. They have killed people, Christians and Muslims alike. Any Muslim that does not subscribe to their teaching, they have killed him. They have metamorphosized into Islamic State. They have turned Kaduna as their capital, and there is a governor that is sitting there. They have shot down plane, a military jet, and they are still in the forest. No military has attacked them. They have come to Kuje, they have freed their inmates, they have taken them back to Kaduna and continue negotiation with the government. In those practices, with regards to IPOP as a terrorist group, as government has prescribed them, please give us a list of the atrocities they have committed in this manner, especially raping women. How many refugee camps do you have in the southeast? And that's why I am saying there are a lot of arguments to begin with in labeling IPOP as a secessionist. Now, the government has gone ahead to do so. I don't know if you get my point.
I have a question. So just wait. I have a question. Do you know what terrorism is?
Terrorism? Yes. So terrorism is the use of any brutal force to inflict fear to people. I will just give you a common definition: to inflict fear in people to achieve a particular end. One, it could be the use of attacking soft targets. For instance, you go to work and I just come to your house and your child says, the moment you left home, I came to your house and did this and ran away. So you are at work and you are thinking, basically it's the targeting of, it's using violence against specifically soft targets in order to force certain people to do some things that you want or to get your aim achieved. That basically is what terrorism is.
Okay, and yeah, that's correct. One thing is that it is based on creating fear, right? You create
that's
fear
right. That's
in
right.
the
Yeah.
heart. So now, that's right. Have you seen do you know the convener of IPOB? You know it's Nnamdi Kanu, right? Have you seen videos? Have you seen videos where Nnamdi Kanu was calling for people to kill people, to burn things? Have you seen that video?
Well, I have followed Nnamdi Kanu's, I think, long before he came. No, I'm trying to let you know that it's not exactly as if I am new to what he is doing. He was formerly doing his propaganda on radio to begin with. He did that for a very long time before he came into the country and went on the street. He gained momentum and all of that. And I think he began, what he got his sympathy by beginning to appeal to the sentiments of the lost war. Even though Gawan said it wasn't lost, there was no victor, there was no vanquished. I have seen all of those things. Now, my point is not a justification of his cause. I need you to understand that. I am trying to tell you that the political background behind what is happening in the Southeast has a lot of other pulses in different parts of the country, and we are not asking questions. That is why I said the only problem of Peter Obi is he is a Christian and he is an Igbo man. That is what I'm trying to say. That is why I gave you an example of Shetima. That's why I gave you an example of Nasiru El-Rufai. That's why I gave you an example of Tinubu.
All right, Zariyi. Thank you very much for your perspective on this issue. However, I have a rider to what you have said. You see, by every sense of the word, IPOB is a terrorist organization. They create fear. They kill people for the attainment of political objectives. This is very, 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 very obvious. So the argument that they are just a secessionist organization, why did the government not proscribe other organizations?
Miyetti Allah in
Because
particular, they have
do
taken
not have,
responsibility.
understand it, the difference between terrorism and other crimes is political agenda. You have to understand it. When people go and kill or generate fear in people so as to achieve a political agenda, what does Boko Haram want to achieve? A state of their own. What does ISIS want to achieve? A caliphate. Why? What did IRA want to achieve? Independence. So all these things, there are elements of terrorism, and if we look at it objectively, we know that they had crossed the borders already and government had to take action. I just wanted to clarify that. I will not, you have given your perspective. You did not actually address the issue, even though you watched the video, you completely deflected on the issue of the video. However, that's okay. I will move on to the next person. Ochman,